So this is totally random. Um, I was just sitting here thinking about how I'm a little hungry today. Well, I was a little hungry. I just ate my lunch. Um, and I actually feel really full, but I was a little hungry. And being on this medication, um, I don't know. Some days I'm not hungry. Some days I am. Most days I'm not. I am on my today. Well, I will be doing a shot on today's Monday, so I will be doing a shot on Wednesday night. So I guess it makes kind of sense that I am a little hungry today. Um, but I actually got really full as soon as I started eating. And sometimes when I'm this close to shot day, that doesn't happen. I'm able to kind of eat um, without feeling like super full. But anyway, um, I don't know. It's really weird. I don't know if that happens to some of you. If anybody watch this video that's on a GLP-1 shot as well, where one day you're hungry, next day you're not. It's kind of sporadic now, at least on this week. And actually last week too, I noticed it where I, and more so even this week, because I remember when I gave my shot this week, Wednesday night, I do it at night before I go to sleep. On Thursday morning, I didn't have that same feeling that I normally have. Um, I thought about food a little bit, and that was different. So I was thinking, oh, am I going to have to titrate up? But I keep remembering some of the other people I've heard in this community. Well, not everyone, but a few people. And one particular um, is, she is Tamika. I had to think of the song. She is Tamika, and Tamika is she. Anyway, so she talked about, just because you start to get hungry, it doesn't mean that you need to titrate up. And I know that, especially, being a nurse, but sometimes you just get caught up in the feeling of, it feels good to not always worry and think about food. That is a wonderful feeling. And if you know, you know. So when you start to think about it, or you get hungry, spend a little bit more time thinking about food, you get a little like, oh, but it's a part of the process, learning how to deal with the cravings, learning how to say no, right? And so I'm trying to learn how to embrace those times, instead of what I did some months ago when I had that happen, when I was on the initial 2.5 dose of Zepbound. When I was on my third month, 3 shots in is when I started to have some, a little food noise, and, thinking about food. And it scared me, and I contacted my doctor. It was like, bump me up, bump me up. And I figured I had, I know people that have bumped up after 1 month. A lot of people were on a schedule where they took 2.5 1 month, went straight up to 5. But I know that was in the past, and that's how they were doing, thought that people should do. But now I see more people kind of doing their own thing. And unless you are diabetic, I am not um, a diabetic. My A1C did not reach that yet. It's not going to reach that. But I was pre-diabetic, and now my numbers are coming down from that. And hopefully, the next time my A1C is checked, I will be out of even the pre-diabetic range. But if I know some that are diabetic, they're on a schedule. But just as far as for obesity, um, kind of can play around with it and do what's best, that what you feel like is best for you. And I was losing, so I stayed at that 2.5 until I started thinking about food a little bit more than I thought I should. But when I go back and think about it, I really was not. Um, I I wasn't overeating. I was managing even with the thoughts of the food because I have a routine and I stick with my routine. Um, Even when I have those thoughts, I just don't like having them. But we got to get used to it. That's something that's going to come. Um, so it's okay, but I still need some help. And I don't want it to be overwhelming, like it had been in the past. But I can handle it. So this time when that happened, I didn't freak out because it first happened actually last week. And I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. I'm just starting videoing and I have to probably write stuff down and then stay on topic. And I am a talker, so I can talk a lot. But what was I saying? So, not this week, but last week is and that was the first shot. But last week was my first shot of this third month of the 5 milligrams, right? And so after feeling, when I was, Thursday, when I'm like, I don't feel different. Like I kind of feel the same, the same satiety, really no food noise, but I didn't have to like force myself to go down there and put my bag together, because that's what I was having to do in order to make sure I'm getting in enough calories. But I was like, and maybe it's just becoming more routine. I don't know. And maybe my body is getting used to it. And it's okay because I shouldn't be losing real fast anyway, right? Um, and so what I'm trying to say is I didn't freak out about that feeling of, oh, I'm kind of actually okay with eating, right? And I just went with it. And I said, well, I got 3 more weeks on this, so I got to make it work. And I managed pretty good. But today, when I ate, before I ate, I was like really hungry. I was hungry. Like I wanted to eat. I didn't have to look at the time and say, okay, it's been this amount of hours since you ate, or I didn't get a headache or something that prompted me to say, oh, it's time to eat. I was actually really hungry. But as soon as I started eating, I was full. Um, and I was shocked because normally on this day, on Monday, which is close to the shot day, I can eat a little bit more. And so I just logged all my stuff that I've eaten today. And I'm in California and it's 2:57. And I've eaten 900 calories. And my plan for dinner is just kale salad with some chicken breast on top, with some sesame, with this dressing. And I've had that before, and I'm thinking it's only gonna come out to be like maybe 300 calories. Like it's like 280, something like that. And my goal for the 2 days prior to the shot, was trying to make sure I can get up to at least 1,300 calories, because I'm usually sitting at about 1,100 most days after my shot, and that's like all I can get in. And so today, I don't think I'm going to get in the 1,300. So that was shocking, but I guess I will. But I really don't want to force myself. Maybe I'll just drink a protein shake. But anyway, I know I've been all over the place, and it looks like it's been 10 minutes. But I'm just trying to do some videos so that when I do start posting them, Traces of Twan said I should have more than one.